I've lost track of days. I don't know what day it is. I know we're in August. I think it's the 14th, 13th.
13th.
Okay, so we are, sorry. We're winding down. We've got 2 days left to make it happen for our client. And I know everybody's tired, but still has the energy to do this, to make it happen today. So I'm hoping today, you always make the big discovery on the last day of the trip, last couple days of the trip. And you never have enough time to get it out, so it pulls you into next season. So we're hoping that's the case. So we're out here working for the Wyoming Dinosaur Center. We're hired guns, so to speak. We're just out here contracting to excavate, locate fossils for their museum, right? So they hired us to be their field team. And what initially brought us out here was wrapping up a T-Rex excavation. And so we closed that site, and now we're looking for new ones. And that's the fun part, but that's also kind of the tough part because there's a lot of potential. They would love for us to find a horned dinosaur, so any kind of ceratopsian. So today is the day. We're gonna find our dinosaur today. Is that resounding yes in the vehicle right now? I love the enthusiasm. If you guys could dial back the energy just a little bit. So we're out here in the Bighorn Basin. But what we have here is Jurassic all the way to Upper Cretaceous and into the Paleocene. So we picked this spot. We've got a large canyon complex behind us here, and we're hoping that we can connect on some dinosaurs in the Lance, which is equivalent to the Hell Creek. And the goal is to just get as many eyes as possible on this formation. You know, I wish people talked more about the amount of time spent prospecting versus actually digging on a specimen, because in reality, unless it's a known site or a bone bed, this is 90% of our job. This is like glacial moraine. You know, this is a lot of stuff that was brought down out of the mountains, tumbled, but it's sitting right on top of these dinosaur formations. So, I mean, this is Lance Creek. Even though the Geological Survey map mapped it or identified it as some kind of tertiary deposits, these big sand deposits right here, that's where we're gonna connect on a dinosaur. Abby, you find something? So do you see all this tertiary stuff on top? So this is all Lance. And in fact, all this sand, this is like a killer target for today. Yeah. Come on, ceratopsian. I got a good feeling about this place. Really hunting like the sands on top, you know? All I'm doing now really is just looking for a bone trail. I'm in the section, the exposures that I want, and I just need some evidence of something to chase. And the bone, whether It can weather like completely porcelain white here. But it could be any color. It could be red, it could be blue, it could be brown, it could be white. So I'm trying to get my fossil eyes on. The Judith, I think we're in the Judith actually. So we're a little bit earlier Cretaceous. And fossils are not as abundant, but when you do find something, it's usually a really awesome skeleton. Oh, baby. Is dinosaur bone. There's pieces of it all down here. Like there's bone going in right here too. Yeah, this is all a shattered bone right here. If you find a skull, that does mean you're better than everyone else, and you can rub it in, and you're like, I found a skull, and you are losers.
Do I also get like $1 million?
That's a negative. So my finally found some bone, and not just like a random fragment. There's a concentration on the surface here. There's some big pieces. Looks like there's a shattered bone going in here. There's a small piece here. So again, like with the Judith, fossils are not really prevalent. Sometimes you get some channel layers full of teeth and bivalves and stuff, but as far as bones, it's kind of hard hunting. So hoping that this could be, you know, something.
Oh, you see that right there?
Do you have a brush?
Hang on.
What the heck? That's a bone. Something.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's a great day for me.
See, listen. Oh, never mind, it's too soft. It doesn't tink, it just crumbles. I don't think it's gonna turn out into anything, but good indicator, like this orangish layer, this plant layer, actually looks like a pretty small pocket right here too. Definitely check those out. We got bone. Let's go find something good. Forces of erosion. It's the strongest force on Earth is the forces of erosion. Oh, it's on fire. That is actually pretty cool. I have no idea what it is. It doesn't have a rugose texture like a turtle plastron or a carapace. So I don't think it's turtle, so it could be like a small scapula or something cool. Some dinosaur bones. So now that I know that, again, like where are we at? We're in the sand concretion layer. This is the pay dirt. So I'm just gonna peek around here and see if we can find anything else good. There's a transition. So we wanna be above that. It's kind of dipping down. Wouldn't it be super awesome to just find a big horn sticking out? It looks like a scapula. So I just got this bone exposed. It looks like a scapula, like I originally thought, and it's just about 30% complete. So not worth spending any more energy on or putting any glue on. I'm gonna make a note on my Onyx and just notate that this sand lens in between these mudstones produces fossils. At this point, it's just an indicator of like, we're in the right layer and we need to keep looking. But for now, with just a few days left, we need to find as many spots as possible to warrant us coming back next year. I don't see nothing yet. So we're in the Lance right now, but there's tons of Judith, and that's where we're gonna find the weird chasmosaurs, Medusaceratops, Loki, you know, anything of these weird, just really eccentric frills. Now we're getting to the end of the dig, so start thinking about what you got to do when you get home. I got a lot of stuff happening at the museum back at home. I mean, the longer, you know, one of the biggest upsides of being in the field this long is the longer you're in the field, the more you're looking at the ground, the higher chance of success. I mean, it's just a matter of looking, you know, hours in the field. Now that the wreck site is closed, we don't have any mandate except to make a discovery, which is incredible. I mean, I'm literally getting paid to just go find dinosaurs. That is the definition of a dream job. The elusive bones of an antelope. Yep, that's a pelvic girdle there. It's the acetabulum where the femur would articulate. And this is the victim of a mountain lion but what's cool is, you think about this in the context of a dinosaur skeleton, it wouldn't be any different. Predator makes a kill, eats its fill, scavengers come along, drag what parts off they can carry, and eventually they're just picked clean bones scattered across the ancient environment. So a lot of times we find a duckbill, but we just find the hips and a section of vertebrae. But the good thing about my target today, a horned dinosaur, a skull is just as good as a skeleton. There's not a lot of meat on a skull, and it's a big, heavy piece of bone. So there should be a lot more of these skulls just laying around the ancient environment to be buried and fossilized than a complete skeleton. Doesn't this look like where a dinosaur would die? Oh, it looks like a frill. It is frill. And this is like, you know, this is really exciting because I've got bone, but it's also very sad because, like, I love how Clayton calls this the second extinction. That's a really nice piece. That's not frill. Oh, that is frill. So this is all frill. The question is, where is it coming from? There's quite a bit of it. Gotta have a source, right? So then it's coming out of the sand. Come on. Unfortunately, I don't see any bone going in. But that's a good sign. That's part of the dinosaur that I've been tasked to come out here and find. We just hunted this outcrop behind me, and we were just hoping to connect on some dinosaurs. Everybody's running low on water, so it's the prudent thing to do is just to push back to the truck and hunt anything that we see on the way back. And hopefully that's when we make the score. All right, so we're making a push back to the truck to regroup, rehydrate. High drone shot. Dinosaur skeleton in the ground. Crews laying on their bellies, gently brushing away the bones. You know, that's not. They got a nice shade structure and a picnic table. Real paleontology is eating cold SpaghettiOs with a butter knife. I don't know. I do that too. It just gets all over your face. We're gonna find it. We're getting close. We're zeroing in. You notice how much more stuff we're finding consistently now? Whereas before it's like, I don't know, there's some wood out here. Why it's so tough hunting the Judith. It's not as fossiliferous as the Hell Creek. And a lot of people hunt it and then just give up because, you know, it's really tough hunting. Here's a prime example of that. Here's a nice piece of petrified wood. A full round. A full round meaning that that's the majority of the trunk and you can see the heart in there. And then here's some bone. And they're so similar. You know, so if you're out here and you're getting skunked all day long and you're just looking at wood, there's some small pieces of bone mixed in here. So it's really subtle. I mean, you have to look at every potential piece of clue to help you find what you're looking for. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 pins. So 8 sites to investigate next year, even if we spent a day really opening up every hole, that's 8 days, right? So that definitely warrants us coming back. You know, one of the biggest upsides of being in the field this long is the longer you're in the field, the more you're looking at the ground, the higher chance of success. I mean, it's just a matter of looking, you know, hours in the field. Every time we do this and don't find anything, we're making ourselves more efficient at finding dinosaurs in the places where we can. We found some data points, found some spots that need to be opened up. Haven't connected on that big discovery yet, but there's still daylight and you know, I'm not a quitter, so. But it doesn't matter, it's another day. So we're scheduled to pull out of here and then a month and we're back up here for a couple of weeks.